What up, Raider Nation? It is time for the Oakland, the Las Vegas, the Los Angeles Raiders to have a come to Jesus meeting. This ain't a game no more, y'all. This is real. Let's talk about it.
Welcome to the My City, My Game pod show featuring Raider J77, your place for all things Raiders and all things Trailblazers. Brought to you by the Spotlight Sports Network. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. Now let's go.
What is good, Raider Nation? This is your boy Raider J77. You are watching the My City, My Game pod show, your one-stop shop for all things Raiders and Trailblazers, all things NFL and NBA. Appreciate y'all tuning in. I appreciate everybody that's been there since the beginning. I appreciate everybody that subscribed, all your subscribers, everybody that follows me on Twitter. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate Raider Nation, man. I appreciate the fans, man. I appreciate, the nation and the brothers and sisters that don the silver and black, man. Much love. Like, totally, just such appreciation for y'all, man. Shout out to Trayvon Dixon. Shout out to Roy. If you guys haven't, man, if you're tuning in for the first time, make sure you smash that subscribe button, smash that bell for notifications, hit the like button, man. Share this live stream. It's time to have a talk, Raider Nation. It's time to have a talk. And the talk has been going on. I mean, the talk for me has been going on for weeks now. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but for me, it's been going on for weeks now. Because I did a video not that long ago that got me a lot of heat. People put me on the chopping block because I posted a video back when we were 6-4 and lost to the Atlanta Falcons, horribly lost to the Atlanta Falcons, and posed the question, what happens if the Raiders crap the bed and blow the season and don't make the playoffs? What's next? What's the next move? Who's to blame? What do we point the finger? Who do we... who does Mark Davis put in the hot seat? One of those people was Paul Gunther. And we saw what happened to him. Another one of those people for me was John Gruden, the man himself. One of those people, Mike Mayock. And another one of those people, the other leader that people so quickly forget about when it comes to a lot of people, not everybody, but a lot of people in Raider Nation seem to forget about, is Derek Carr. And you can say what you want, but he's a leader on this team. He sets examples. He's the veteran quarterback of this team. And if you don't believe that, and you're one of those Carr stands, or maybe you're not a Carr stand, maybe you're just a Carr apologist. Could be one of those two. Maybe you're not super, a sycophantic or anything like that, but you just really like Derek Carr and you like to defend him. That's fine. Totally okay. But Marcus Mariota went on record today saying this is Derek Carr's team, right? Because they asked him, with the whole quarterback controversy, him coming in, playing the game, they asked him, and he said, this is Derek Carr's team. Well, if that doesn't tell you right there, Derek Carr is responsible. John Gruden, responsible. Mike Mayock, responsible. Paul Gunther, who's now no longer here, but is responsible. Now Rob Marinelli, responsible. Mark Davis, responsible. These are the guys that lead your team. There's not... You can give the captain patch to whoever you want, but there is not a player on that defense that's been with this team for more than 2 seasons that I can think of. And correct me if I'm wrong. Jump in the chat. Say, hey, Raider J, you're Raider J, you're crazy. You're off. This person has been here for this long, because I could be wrong, but I don't think there is a player on that defense that has not been here more than 2 seasons. So there ain't no leaders on that defense. None. There's barely any veterans on that defense. There's a couple now, especially with some of the recent signings like Vic Beasley, David Irving. Those guys are veterans in the league, but they just got signed. Who's the leader? Kwiatkowski, he was supposed to be a leader, but John Gruden has come out and said he's still working on his leadership skills. Shout out Jerry Roach. Shout out to you. Says Gruden is not going anywhere. He's running the team. This is Gruden's team. Yes, it is. Absolutely 100% Gruden's team. But his assistant manager, Derek Carr. So, with that being said, this defense is looking for a leader. Paul Gunther wasn't the leader because obviously the team didn't want to play for him. I think last season, your leader for this defense, and it's going to be weird to say, but it was Brenston Buckner, the defensive line coach. This defensive line played their tails off for that man. And since he's been gone, it's been like the heart and soul of this defense just went away. But, ex-player, guy seemed very likable. He seemed like a really, really likable person. I mean, on Hard Knocks, I thought it was, I really enjoyed watching him and his interactions with the players. But it's time for this team to have a come to Jesus meeting. And a lot of it goes right back to Gruden. Because Mark Davis, Mike Mayock, and John Gruden, they're the guys calling the shots. At the end of the day, they're the guys calling the shots. Yes, Carr's got leadership when it comes to the locker room, when it comes to the stuff that's done off the field, and then stuff that's done on the field. But when it really comes down to it, John Gruden, Mike Mayock, Mark Davis, those are the guys that make the calls. And to be honest with you, when it comes to Mark Davis, he's come out and openly admitted, I am not a football guy. I am not my father. Al Davis knew just as much, if not more, than most of the personnel that he employed, being a player and a coach, and the commissioner of the AFL. So Mark Davis is not that guy. So what does he do? He puts it in the hands of the people that know better. And that's Mike Mayock and John Gruden. But at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, Mark Davis, he can hire and fire who he pleases. He's the owner. The buck stops with him. Hire and fire who he pleases. Hey, shout out! I appreciate everybody that's watching live, that's in the chat. If you are here, what's up, Mike Garcia? Jump into the chat. Let me see that you're here. Let me shout you out. I'm gonna open up the phone lines here in a bit because we're gonna talk about this, man. We're gonna talk about this because I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I am sick and tired of being sick and tired of having losing season after losing season after losing season after quarterback after quarterback after quarterback after coach after coach after coach, GM after GM after GM. I'm tired of it. This was supposed to be it. This was supposed to be a long term. This was supposed to be the start of a dynasty. John Gruden was brought in and hired to turn this team around and build a dynasty. And these last 3 seasons, far from it. Far from it. These last 3 seasons, 2018, 4-12, 2019, 7-9, 2020, 7-7. Not good, y'all. It's not good, Raider Nation. And yeah, it's a rebuild, and things take time to develop, but it's all bad right now. I don't know how much time that you guys, the Raider Nation that's watching this right now, I don't know how much time you guys spend on social media, but it's all bad right now. The play calling is horrendous. The coaching is terrible. The players are acting a fool on social media and getting getting heat brought to the team. People are laughing at them. People are laughing at us again. We continue to be the laughing stock, and the players don't help. And it starts with Derek Carr's leadership. And I'll get to that in a little bit. Roy, what's up? Says I think we should stick it out with Gruden. Because what this team needs is consistency in coaching staff and players. Roy, I agree with you. I don't disagree at all with that statement. I'm not coming on here and I'm not going to say fire everybody and let's start all over. That's not what I'm saying. Because I believe, I'll get to Derek Carr in a minute, but I believe that John Gruden and Mike Mayock and this coaching staff, I believe in them. And I believe that they can do well. But things need to change, right? I believe that John Gruden is a leader of men and that he can get men, these players, to play well. But things have to change. Things have to change when it comes to how he handles these guys. What does he handle them with kid gloves, or whether he's hard on them and gives them tough love. And then it goes to play calling and scheming. What's been happening is not working these past 3 seasons. And then you could say what you want about, well, he hasn't had players. And, we say that about Derek Carr. Well, he hasn't had wide receivers to throw to and this and that. Well, this season, we have the talent. One of the best tight ends in the game. A top slot receiver. One of the fastest guys. One of the fastest wide receivers. One of the top running backs. A great fullback. An amazing offensive line. Pro Bowl players. Pro Bowl caliber players on this offense. And we managed to put up a field goal against the Atlanta Falcons. That's unacceptable for a team with this much talent on it. And again, it starts with the leadership. It's time for John Gruden and Mike Mayock and Mark Davis to have a come to Jesus meeting, and Derek Carr needs to be involved in that. I heard an interesting stat recently in the last couple of days about John Gruden, and that for some reason his seasons over the last, since he had a winning season in 2005 was his last winning season when he coached the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But since then, for some reason, at a certain point in the season, things start to go bad. And funny that the same thing kind of happens with Derek Carr over the last couple of seasons. Last season, the same exact time, the same exact record, 6-4. What happened? We lost to the Jets, and then from there on, it was a dumpster fire. I think we had one win after that. How many wins do we have since we played? You know what, Raider J? Funny you should ask that. Let's pull that up. Since we lost to Kansas City in week 14, 13, 12, 11, in week 10, we lost to Kansas City. We've had one win. One win. A lot of people put me on the grill. A lot of people put me on the chopping block when I came out and said, hey, in the video, what happens if they lose out on the playoffs? At this point, it would take Jesus Christ coming down from heaven and making a miracle. What's up, Michael James? Says, LOL, we suck again. Maybe next year. Man. Roy says, the thing is, you guys can't let go of that loss to the Falcons, man. This is the NFL. It's any given Sunday. Get over that loss. You know what, man? I'm gonna tell you, Roy, right now. It wasn't just one loss. We lose to the Falcons. We barely beat the Jets. The Jets scored 28 points on this defense. We lose to Indianapolis, and we lose to the Chargers in overtime. And that's the other thing, too, is this defense is terrible. And that's John Gruden's fault, because John Gruden hired Paul Guenther. So that's absolutely his fault. And then John Gruden sat there and let him run this defense into the ground continuously, just drug it through the mud. Two field goals against the Atlanta Falcons. Let's see. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna back the truck up here just a little bit. So something has got to change. Things have got to improve. And it starts with John Gruden and Mike Mayock and Mark Davis. And then after that, it's up to Derek Carr. And then after that, it's up to Rob Marinelli. No, excuse me, Rob Marinelli and then Derek Carr. And then after that, it's up to the rest of the players. What's up, Damian Hernandez? Damian Hernandez says Mariota screwed y'all big time if he didn't throw that pick. Y'all could have won that game Thursday. Absolutely, positively. That was a huge turnover. Huge turnover. But you know what? You know what, Roy? You're right. Let's not focus. I'm not here to focus on one game. I'm here to focus on the trend, and that trend is the last two seasons, last season and this season, being 6-4 at the same time in the season, and then all of a sudden lose. Just a whole bunch of losses, a whole bunch of garbage. And I'm not talking about like competitive. Oh, it was close. You know, we lost to Kansas City and it was close. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, does this team even look like they should even be in, you know, talking about the playoffs or even having a 500 record kind of losses? It's been really, really bad, man. It's been really, really bad. Now you got players. So here's the other thing that frustrates me, guys. Here's the other thing that they need to have a come to Jesus meeting about. One, improve the play calling. Let's get rid of this. I don't even know what the heck they were doing last week. You're 4 for 4 on fourth down. You got 3 yards to get into the end zone. You got Mariota at quarterback. The RPO plays are working, and you kick a field goal on fourth down at the 3rd-yard line. You kick a field goal. Are you freaking kidding me? Where the hell did that come from? With the game on the line in overtime, you kick a field goal and rely on the defense, which is playing terrible. And that part of that is scheme, part of that is coaching, but part of it is these players. And that's what I want to talk about now. So now, in addition to how terrible the play calling is and the scheming and the play on the field, now you got players going on social media, players like Josh Jacobs and Max Crosby and Trayvon Mullen going on social media. Shout out Rod Gass. He says, shout out from Mexico, Raider Nation, all over the world. Absolutely. Roy says, we can't finish the season strong. No, we can't. And that's the problem. It don't matter how you start. It's about how you finish. It doesn't matter if you're losing in the first half. It's about how you play in the second half and you come back and you win the game. Doesn't matter how you start. It matters how you finish. And that's the problem I have. So now you got players on social media getting into it with fans, with members of Raider Nation, talking crap to them, talking crap to media members, talking crap to guys, who are just, trying to do sports casting and sports talk and things like that. You got Max Crosby out here fat shaming somebody. Because dude posted something on Twitter saying, put Max Crosby's face on a gallon of milk. Have you seen me? And Josh Jacobs posting jokes on Twitter talking about he's not playing in the game. There's somebody that's a fantasy team person, or fantasy team player or whatever was like, bro, what's up with that, man? That's messed up. Why are you doing that? People pay attention to this stuff. They take it seriously. Some people got money riding on this. Roy says, Michael James says, Max apologized. Hey, you know what? That's great. That's great. Max apologized. Roy says, see, that's the thing. This generation, they're too damn sensitive. Yeah, man. You are a grown-ass man, and you get paid millions of dollars, and you can't take somebody critiquing. Just some average Joe Raider Nation fan out there sitting behind his keyboard, and you have to respond and defend yourself? Why defend yourself on the field, bro? You don't want people critiquing you and talking crap about you? Go out there and show it on the field. Show it with how you play the game. Don't show it on Twitter. Show it with how you're a professional athlete. Show it how you play on the field. You think Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant or Jerry Rice, Joe Montana, Ken Stabler, you think these guys cared what anybody thought or what anybody had to say other than the coaches and the owner? No. You want to, yeah, exactly, Roy. You want to shut people up? Win games. Prove it on the field. Play your heart out. Pour yourself out. Empty your cup. Man, that's one thing I miss about Jack Del Rio. Pour your cup, empty your cup. Leave it all out on the field. Don't sit there on the sideline when you're getting beat. You haven't thrown a single touchdown and you're laughing and smiling and fist bumping while your team is getting pummeled by another team. This is professional competitive sports. And at the end of the day, yes, it's entertainment, but also at the end of the day, you get paid either way. But you know what? These fans, they take this crap seriously. We take it seriously. We spend our time and our hard-earned money on merchandise, going to games. But Trayvon Mullins over here on Twitter talking about why he's so serious when somebody called him out on his terrible game. Why so serious? 'Cause, bro, you sucked. Yes, you had a bad game. Happens. But come out and say, I had a bad game. I'm going to bounce back. I'm going to be better. I let the nation down. I let the team down today, but I'm going to be better. I'm going to make improvements. No, you're going to come out and say, why are you so serious? Roy said the worst thing Del Rio did was promote Downey. Absolutely. That's where all that went downhill. Yeah, that's exactly right. Because Trayvon Mullen, you had 5 penalties. And yes, some of that stuff didn't go your way. A lot of those calls didn't go our way. Illegal hands to the face by Joey Bosa. The hit on Hunter Renfrow. It wasn't even called. Yeah, absolutely, man. I feel that. But But dude, get out there and play your heart out and shut the refs up and show the refs, look, I don't care what you call or don't call. I'm out here. I'm gonna win this game. I'm gonna play my heart out and I'm gonna win this game. Point blank. Period. Luz 510 says, "Miss the old days of tough football." Absolutely, man. And that brings me to my next subject, Mr. Derek Carr, that a lot of people in Raider Nation don't want to seem to be talking about. And I've had this debate with Darian, who I co-host with on the Spotlight Sports Network, or excuse me, Spotlight Raiders Talk, where we do the live streams and stuff like that. I've had this discussion and this debate with him. Derek Carr, I don't know if some of you guys remember, but over the last couple of seasons, Derek Carr has been taking a lot of heat and getting a lot of critique. And him and his band of brothers, Mr. David Carr and whatever the other D Carr guy, whatever his name is, on Twitter, talking mess. Derek Carr talking mess to Josh DeBow. And now all of a sudden you see other players starting to do that as well. Because their leader, Derek Carr, who's the leader of this team, whose team this is, according to Marcus Mariota and all the other players, is out here acting a fool on social media instead of just proving it on the field. Defend yourself on the field. And if people want to talk mess about you still because they're hating on you, ignore it. Hit the block button. Hit the mute button. Roy says the NFL needs to hold refs accountable. Absolutely, positively they do. But you know what? Man, in life, you got to control what you can control. And you know what? The Raiders can't control what the refs in the NFL want to do. There's only so much that can be done. Al Davis did everything in his power that he could by suing the NFL, and he won. And they've been mad about it ever since. So control what you can control. And what you can control is the penalties on the field, how much you play, the heart, the soul, the grit, the Mamba mentality, the eye of the tiger that you play with, where your overall goal is just winning. That's what you can control. But for some reason, at a certain point, for whatever reason, over the last couple of seasons, Derek Carr doesn't seem to want to be taking football seriously. Whether it be his church work last season around that time when we were 6-4, all of a sudden his play started regressing, and then I start seeing stuff in the media talking about Derek Carr is saying, "Oh, I've got some opportunities I'm doing at my church, and I'm preaching, and I'm really loving it." And then the man comes out and literally says, "Football is not my life's work. It's not what I want to do with my life. It's not the end for me." Fine, great. That's awesome. If your heart is somewhere else, that's fine. But you're still getting paid to do a job. You're still getting paid to be in a competitive sport. You still got a nation, a worldwide nation full of fans counting on you to not make them look stupid, to make their time and money that they're investing in this team worth it. You made that commitment. I didn't. Nobody asked you to. You did. You declared for the draft. You signed the contract. Nobody forced you to do it. So you got a responsibility. You don't want this to be your end-all, be-all. You don't want it to be the number one thing in your life. Fine. But still give it 100%. But at some point in the last season, when all that went down, his play regressed. Now this season, same thing happens. Come to find out that big loss, after that big loss, find out his daughter's born. And congratulations. I'm a girl dad too, bro. I'm a girl dad too. I got 4 kids. My family is everything to me. But I can't go to work and tell my boss and the customers that rely on me, oh, I'm sorry, I got this going on, so I'm only partially here. Shout out to you, Michael James. Michael James says, preach, Luz 510. Too coincidental with this new injury, the timing. Luz 510 also says he talks 100%. Yes, absolutely. Too easy to hit that button, arguing back like children, spoiled children. Roy says that's why it's Raiders versus the refs. Absolutely. I think it's funny that now all of a sudden Derek Carr's got some, and I never wish injury on anybody, and I don't have a personal problem with Derek Carr. I think that Derek Carr, other than football, is a great person, and I wish him nothing but the best. I think his family is beautiful and it's great. I got a family of my own. I totally get it, bro. I totally understand where you're coming from. But you made a commitment to this team and to the fans of this team, and the people investing their time and money into this team. You made that commitment. You got to follow through. Now all of a sudden, can't even rely on you. At a certain point in the season, what you just pack it in, huh? Don't finish out. You ain't finished the season. The last 2 seasons, you ain't finished the season out. Last season you were playing, but you weren't playing. That's why they threw trash at you when you left Oakland. And water bottles and stuff like that. And is that the right thing to do? No. But one, these people aren't professionals. They're not at work like you are. And 2, they take this seriously, man. For some people, this is their life. So for some people, this is all they have. What's up, Neil? Wow, Raider J, you think it's tough being a Raiders fan? Me and Gang Green David don't even have chances to win. Man, I feel you, bro. I feel you, but man, we're almost 2 decades, man. 2 decades of suck. 2 decades of missing the playoffs. Luz 510, 4th down throwaway with nothing to lose. Man, seriously, man. Seriously. All right, so here's what we're going to do, man. So my problem is, here's where I'm at. And you guys can disagree, you can agree, that's fine. You don't have to agree with me. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm done with Derek Carr. As far as I'm concerned, if Derek Carr never suits up with a silver and black jersey in his life, I'll be totally okay with that. Derek Carr, I'm done with you, bro. 7 years, man. 7 years you had to prove to prove to us as a nation that we could rely on you. And you showed up for 1 year. 1 season. That's all you gave us out of 7. I'm done with you. And I'll say it right now. I don't think he will suit up in the silver and black again. Because if I can see it, I damn sure know that John Gruden and Mike Mayock can see it. Now, I'd say Gruden won't be here, but Gruden's got a 10-year contract, $100 million. That's a lot of money to eat. Not to mention, Gruden can say, well, you know what? I'm rebuilding. Does he need to change? Absolutely 100%. Improve your play calling, Gruden. Stop being so conservative. Stop using old offensive stuff. You know what Gruden needs to do? I'll tell you what Gruden needs to do. Gruden needs to take and bring in an offensive coordinator that's young and innovative. Bring that offensive coordinator in and say, look, let's sit down and let's reinvent this offense. Let's innovate this play calling. And then I'm gonna let you call the plays. I'm gonna coach the team. You call the plays. But we'll do it. But we're gonna put the scheme together together. That's what he needs to do. He needs to bring in a young, fresh, innovative offensive mind to come in and reinvigorate and change and update this team. Neil says, 2 decades of suck. Haven't been good since half a century ago. I feel you, man. All right. I feel you. We will ruin Trevor. Man, you know what? I don't even know if he's going to end up going, but we'll see. Water King Anonymous, what's up? What's good, my guy? How's it going, brother? Hopefully going well. Man, it's been better. I mean, when it comes to Raider Nation, when it comes to this football team, it's going terrible. Roy says, the thing I think held this team back a lot was the missing players due to COVID-19. Hopefully next year will be better. Hopefully, man. It's been a tough year overall for everybody. If we get a new freaking owner, Eric Bieniemy, Trevor Lawrence, and Travis Etienne, the Jets might be good. It's possible, man. I'll tell you what, though, man. Speaking of freaking John Gruden. But I'm going to open up the phone lines here in a second. So I'm going to take your guys' calls. You guys can call into the show live. We're going to talk about it. You give me your 2 cents. Tell me what you feel. As soon as I get this up here. There we go. If I actually open up the right freaking thing, John. So, yeah. John Gruden needs to bring in an offensive coordinator. Young, talented, innovative. Update this offense. Update the playbook. And just, put the team first, man. That's what I'm trying to preach here. I guess at the end of the day, what I'm trying to preach is put the team first, man. Put the team first. Player, coach, put the team first. Screen's going to go all wonky here for a second, but we're going to fix it right up. Bada bing, bada boom. And if you can't put the team first, you know what? Move on. If you can't put the team first, move on. Derek Carr, if you can't put the team first, move on. Trayvon Mullen, you can't put the team first, move on. Josh Jacobs, no team first, move on. Max Crosby, can't put the team first, move on. I don't care who you are. Because it's Raider Nation. It's not Max Crosby Nation or Derek Carr Nation or John Gruden Nation or Mike Mayock Nation. No, this is Raider Nation. It's been around way before me and way before y'all, a lot of y'all. Before Gruden, before Derek Carr. This is here before Mark Davis, the owner. All right, Neil. Neil says he's going to tune out. Peace out, man. It was good. It was good talking with you, man. So the phone lines are open, man. You guys can give me a call. If you want to chime in, you want to talk about something, call in. Let me know. But this team is a mess right now. From players to personnel to play calling to the fans. And that's the other thing, too, man. You got fans out here acting a fool. I mean, just Trayvon Mullen had a bad game. He's allowed to have a bad game. Now, if he starts having a bad 2 games and 3 games or 4 games or 5 and 6, then there's a problem. But he had a bad game. He's not a bad cornerback. He's not trash. He's not terrible. He's got to fix some stuff, though. He had a bad game, and he's got to fix it. At the end of the day, that's what happens. Derek Carr, on the other hand, 7 years. John Gruden, 3 years. Y'all, like I said, as far as I'm concerned, we'll move on from Derek Carr. I'm done with you. After this little off a non-contact groin injury, been playing like garbage. You want to hear something? You know what? Hey, check this out. Check this out. Show y'all something here. Derek Carr. Let's pull up his stats this season. Let me show you guys something here. Because a lot of people tell me I'm crazy. Oh, you're Raider J, you're crazy. You're a Derek Carr hater. You're crazy. First 10 games of the season. First 10 games of the season. Make sure that I'm saying this right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. First 10 games of the season. Derek Carr's overall passer rating dropped below 100. 1, 2, 3 times. 3 games out of 10, Derek Carr's passer rating was less than 100. 2 of those times, it was still in the 80s. 81.1, 87.3. The last four games of this season, he has not hit 100 or more passer rating. 70.1, 97.9, 85, 96.3. You telling me out of 10 games, 3 times you had less than 100 passer rating, and then you just almost doubled that in the last 4. So you're telling me, and I say you, meaning the people that are telling me that I'm crazy, oh, Derek Carr, he regresses at a certain point. He gets distracted by other stuff. You're telling me that you don't see a trend here. His overall passer rating, first 10 games, 107.5, 120.9, 119.4, 107.3, 126.7, 97.5, 87.3, 108.1, 81.1, 119.7, and Kansas City game, 119.7. New Orleans, 120.9. Tampa Bay, 97.5. You're telling me that he puts up numbers like that first 10 games of the season, last 4 games, he can't even break 100, and he was all the way down at 70.1 against the Atlanta freaking Falcons. Let me get to the chat here. What's up, Alpha One? What's up, Water King? Alpha One says the offense is not the problem. We need a competitive defense. Oh, I ain't started with the defense yet. I ain't even gone there yet. We're gonna go there in a minute. I've already roasted a few of their players. I don't know if you were watching, but I've already roasted a few of the defensive players. Trayvon Mullen, Max Crosby. Don't get me started on Eric Harris. Or the fact that Mike Mayock and John Gruden thought it was a good idea to keep him. Luz 510. And I'm not yelling at you guys, man. I'm just frustrated. I'm yelling at the team right now. Mariota, one game in the system showed more authentic heart than Carr. 7 years of phony flexing on and off the field. I'm telling you, man. What's up, Snake Sports Talk? What's up, Jake the Snake? Unfortunately, the transmission is given out. The tires have been blown off, and the car is not movable now. Too much silver and lack, bro. Absolutely. I love the puns. Luz 510. Mid-tier, never elite. Mr. Happy Feet. Water King Anonymous, even if you are crazy, you can't be any more crazier than Snake Sports. That is true. Jake the Snake is a nutball. We all know this. All right, so you know what? Let's talk about the defense for a minute. Let's talk about how John Gruden kept Paul Guenther here for 3 years. Let him drag this defense through the mud. I talked about it a little bit earlier. But you know what? They made a change. Did it look that great? Yes. On Thursday? Absolutely not. but the change just happened. So there's really not a lot you could say yet. You got to it's one of those things you got to wait and see. Are they going to bring in somebody? Is Rob Marinelli going to be the permanent defensive coordinator? Are they going to bring in another defensive coordinator? And who is that going to be? But the problem is that they need to get a leader on this defense, player and coach alike. And those leaders got to be better than the leaders on the offensive side of the ball thus far. Because John Gruden and Derek Carr on the offensive side of the ball are not getting it done when it comes to leadership. Not getting it done. And on the defensive side of the ball, we need the defensive coordinator to come in, change the scheme up, and get these players to play for him. And Jonathan Abram needs to chill the hell out, sit his butt down, and stop trying to take people's heads off. We've been saying it for weeks now. He's a liability. He's a talented player. He can fly across the field. He's got great vision, but he needs to work on his coverage, and he needs to calm down and stop trying to take people's heads off and make clean tackles. And stop the runner, the ball holder, whoever's got the ball from breaking tackles and getting downfield because he's trying to take the head off and the angle is all wrong. And he's not wrapping up. Eric Harris needs to go bye-bye. Eric Harris needs to they need to sit him down, hand him a plane ticket and some packed bags and send him home. Bye. Go play for the Canadian Football League or Arena Football or XFL, something like that. Bye. He's not NFL caliber. Trayvon Mullen needs to suck it up and do better. Stop worrying about people talking crap about him on social media. Roy says, or Damian says, Rivers is still better than Herbert. Roy says, and what did the flexing get us? An L, but don't hear anyone criticize Mariota for that loss. Oh, I got stuff to say about Mariota for sure. Damian or Snake Sports says, really, Damian, really? Gruden too loyal to his pal over the needs of the team. Paul Gunther had worthy stats to be fired last season. He absolutely did. Alpha One says, this is why they need to get a real safety, a guy with a high football IQ. Absolutely. Joyner should have been moved back to safety a long friggin' time ago. And that's the, and again, that goes back to Paul Gunther. But you know what? Paul Gunther's not here anymore. So what changes are they going to make? They need to they need to sit down, Gruden and Mayock and Mark Davis and Rob Marinelli need to sit down and have a come to Jesus meeting. What changes are you going to make? Because you have got to improve. If Rob Marinelli is going to be around for the long haul as defensive coordinator, you have got to fix this defense, get these players playing back to the level they should be playing. Period. Plain and simple. Get them off social media. Stop telling them to be so soft. You know what? One of my favorite things. Man, Brenston Buckner needs to be brought back for this offensive line or defensive line, and double that man's salary. I'm a Brenston Buckner fan. I love that guy. That guy is a great coach, and one of the best things he ever said was Hard Knocks last season. He said, "Man, I love y'all, but I despise some of y'all football." And that's how I feel about this team right now. I love these players, but I despise their football. Derek Carr, I love you as a person. You're a great man, a man of God, which I appreciate because I am one myself, but I despise your football, bro. I despise your competitive spirit. And I despise the fact that for whatever reason, you don't seem to want to be as committed to this team as its fan base. And that's the problem. John Gruden, you're a great guy, but I despise your football. Plain and simple. And Mariota, you know what? Here's the thing about Mariota. He threw a bad pick. He threw a bad ball. Now, we could say, because a lot of people do, well, he threw the ball, it was deflected off their hands, and somebody caught it, and that's what we said about, a lot of people said about Carr. Well, he threw the ball, and it was deflected, nothing you could do about that. No, you got to put the ball in the breadbasket. You got to hit him between the numbers in that situation. You hit him between the numbers, he doesn't bobble that ball, no interception. Bad throw. Bad throw by a backup quarterback who hasn't practiced most of the season and didn't have an off season. Can't say too much about Mariota right now as far as negative is concerned because he played his butt off. He extended plays. It was nice to see somebody use their legs, extend the play, see a run pass option for once. But we'll have to see because you know what? Sounds like he's going to be playing the rest of the season. We'll have to see how he does. Damian Hernandez says y'all need to trade or cut Trent Brown. I don't agree with that. I don't think we need to trade or cut him. I think that there has been some issues, and he's been playing really well the last couple of games. If he can continue to do that and be available, or if he has the same attitude as the rest of them, bye. See you later. Alpha One says, "Stop putting players in positions they don't that they don't play." Yeah, absolutely. Put Joyner back at safety. Get him out of that freaking slot corner crap. Does Mark Davis have an owner's option on Gruden's contract, like for any years 5 to 10? I'm not 100% sure. That's a good question. That's a good question. I don't know for sure. I'd be interested to know what that is. I'll do some investigating on that. I'm gonna have to look into that. But yeah, man, it's all bad, and I'm frustrated. Frankly, I am frustrated because the year was going so good, just like last season. We started off so good, and you're sitting there thinking, man, as a fan, you're sitting there thinking, we really could make the playoffs this season. And then they go and they rip your heart out. And John Gruden and Derek Carr and Paul Gunther and Mark Davis and Mike Mayock are all responsible. And yeah, I throw the quarterback into that conversation because he is the leader. He is the leader of at least the offense, but in this case, the entire team. Because he's the captain of the captains. He's number 2 to John Gruden. Less 5'10", linebackers covering wide receivers. What it is, high school. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Brian Helms, do you think Gruden should be fired after this year? I'm going to answer that in a second. Trust me, I feel your pain, my guy. Yeah, I know you do. As a Raider fan, we all feel each other's pain. And you know what? That's the thing, man. We need to stop fighting it amongst each other when it comes to the fan base, man. Because we're all in this misery together. So why make it worse for us? Let's not make it worse for each other. Because we're all suffering together. Brian Helms, back to your question. Do you think Gruden should be fired after this year? Here's the thing about John Gruden being fired. I don't think that John Gruden should be fired. And here's why. Because I think John Gruden is a great coach. I really do. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. A little technical difficulties real quick. I think John Gruden is a great coach. I think he's a leader of men. I think he can get men to follow. I think that he knows football very well. I think that he evaluates players well. But I think his play calling is outdated, and I think at times he makes the wrong decisions. And so I think that John Gruden needs to improve by bringing in an offensive coordinator who's young and innovative, who can help him innovate this playbook and update it and make it better. And if he can do that and allow that young, innovative play caller, if he can in some ways what's the word I'm looking for? Apprentice that player, and or not player, but that coach, and teach him while gleaming the innovative, stuff from him as well, and they can work in tandem together. I think that John Gruden can have a lot of success. I really do. I really, really think he can have a lot of success. But he's got to relinquish some of those responsibilities when it comes to the playbook, when it comes to the scheme, when it comes to the plays, when it comes to the decisions that are being made on offense. Damien Ernest says, at least you're not a Bears fan. Right? Michael James, Gruden's ego won't allow him to do that. You know what? And that's what I'm saying. That's why I put on the title of this, and I've said it a few times now, Mark Davis, John Gruden, Mike Mayock need to have a Rob Marinelli need to have a come to Jesus meeting. And Mike Mayock and Mark Davis, being the man, need to sit John Gruden down and be like, look, bro, to hell with your ego. This is about the Raiders. Put the team first. Not yourself, but the team. Again, that goes back to leadership. What example are you setting for these players? What example are you setting? Do you put the team first? Is it team first, or is it John Gruden first? Is it team first, or is it Derek Carr first? Is it team first, or is it Paul Gunther first? That's what needs to be established. That is the culture that needs to change, because I'm seeing a whole lot of John Gruden first, Derek Carr first, Paul Gunther first before the team, and that doesn't fly with me, and that's frustrating me, and that's what I'm pissed about. LOL, about to say the same to Michael James. Team before ego. Absolutely team before ego. That's where that come to Jesus meeting needs to come. Mark Davis, if you are watching this, Mike Mayock, if you are watching this, I hope, you probably will never, but if you happen to get this, I hope you bring Gruden in and Rob Marinelli and have a come to Jesus meeting and be like, look, bro, 10 years, $100 million. You need to fix this. Put your ego down and fix it. Put the team first. Paul Gunther first helped kill our season. Yes, he did. And we go back to the ego, putting the team first. John Gruden should have fired his butt a long time ago. Bye. Team first. It's not personal, it's business. One of my favorite movies of all time, The Godfather. There's so many great nuggets, so much great wisdom in The Godfather. It's not personal, Sonny. It's strictly business. Business isn't being taken care of. This fan base is not being taken care of. And that's a problem for me. All right, so we hit that 1 hour mark. Alpha One says the whole team needs to take ownership of the team in order to be successful. Absolutely, positively. The whole team needs to do it, and it starts with the coaches and the leaders of the team. It starts with Mark Davis, Mike Mayock, John Gruden, Rob Marinelli, Derek Carr. Starts with them. Plain and simple. If they don't do it, nobody else will. Because those are the leaders of this team. If your leaders don't do what needs to be done, the rest of the team will not do it. Trust me, because I've led teams before. And they did what I did. And if I didn't do something, they didn't do it. If I did it, they did it. If I didn't hold myself accountable and up to a certain standard, I couldn't expect to hold them to that same standard. Less 510. Gruden complacent with that contract. Heard fat contract payback for being traded to Tampa Bay. Possibly. It's possible. Well, we hit that 1 hour mark. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Look, man, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, hit the like button, share this video with all of your friends and family in Raider Nation. Let them know about it, man. I appreciate y'all. And leave a comment down in the comment section. I always respond to comments. If you have not already, make sure that you follow me on social media. My City My Game is the Facebook. Raider _ J77 is the Twitter. I always answer Twitter. I'm always active on there. So hit me up. If you got questions, comments, concerns, do you want to talk about something, let me know. I definitely appreciate y'all tuning in. You guys are awesome. I really hope they can turn this around. Marcus85, shout out to you, man. Says sometimes I wonder who's really wearing that C on their jersey. Man, me too, bro. Me too. Because that patch comes with responsibility, man. That comes with responsibility. That C means something. And I ain't seeing it, man. I'm not seeing the leadership. I'm not seeing the commitment to excellence. I'm not. And I'm done with Derek Carr. This whole his play going south and how terrible he's been over the last 4 games, and now this non-contact groin injury and this playing soft, I'm done, bro. I'm done. Go work in the church, man. Go plan the church or something like that and take care of your family, bro. Nothing but love, man. More power to you, and I hope the best, man. But when it comes to football, I'm done. I don't want to hear about Carr. I don't want a Carr jersey. No. I don't care if he never suits up in the silver or black again. I'm done. Anyhow, I appreciate you guys tuning in, man. We do have some sales going on with the merch. I do believe right now we have 15% off on the My City My Game merch. Make sure you go check that out. The link is in the description down below. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in. You guys are great. You're awesome. Thank you so much. Love, peace, man, and just win, baby.
Welcome to the My City My Game pod show featuring Raider J77, your place for all things Raiders and all things Trailblazers. Brought to you by the Spotlight Sports Network. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. Now let's go.